So, while everybody was harping on the whole R. Kelly thing, this was going on in the background. And this wasn't the only thing going on in the background as well, but I'm going to talk about that in a little conversation I had with one of my subscribers toward the end of the video. And it's going to go to a point that I had talked about on Twitter. So, this, of course, is Harvey Weinstein, and on the left of him is Ashley Judd. She is a Hollywood actress, and she was suing Harvey Weinstein, for defamation. Not only did she try to sue him once, but she tried to sue him twice. And the first time her case got dismissed, it got thrown out of court. Some people don't even know she went a second time. So she went a second time, and guess what happened? The same thing that happened the first time. The judge dismissed this case. Now, I'm not sure if it was the same exact judge as the first one, but if it was, maybe they should have went to another judge, but something tells me it probably was. I would not be in the least bit surprised if Harvey Weinstein paid some people under the table. Now, if y'all remember a few months ago, I think it was sometime in the summertime last year, it said that Harvey Weinstein was going back to court. And I think it was probably from this case. It may have been some other ones, but I think this might have been one of them. But they threw it out again for a second time. I would like to know where the Me Too heifers at, because I haven't heard them say a thing yet. But of course, we hear about R. Kelly. They're constantly throwing R. Kelly in our faces. As a matter of fact, I probably hear more about R. Kelly this week than I have his entire damn career, and he's been out for 3 damn decades. But let me go ahead and read this article coming from NBC News, because there's actually, I want to talk about the conversation I was having with one of my subscribers and the point that I made on Twitter, because it all kind of connects. A federal judge again threw out part of the actor's Ashley Judd sexual harassment and defamation lawsuit against the film producer Harvey Weinstein on Wednesday. U.S. District Judge Philip Gutierrez first threw out the sexual harassment part of Judd's claim in September, so it is the same judge, finding that Weinstein and Judd didn't have a specific kind of professional relationship that allows such claims under California law. I wonder if this is the same California law that they switched around for Bill Cosby, because they switched some shit around for him. Gutierrez ruled at the time, and again Wednesday, that Judd could proceed with her defamation claim against Weinstein, whom she accuses of having blackballed her from being cast in Lord of the Rings and other movies after she became one of the first Hollywood actors to speak out against his alleged harassment of women. We have said from the beginning that this claim was unjustified, and we are pleased that the court saw it as we did, as said Phyllis Kupferstein, an attorney for Weinstein. We believe that we will ultimately prevail on her remaining claims. The California legislature revised the law last year, specifically adding film directors and producers to the categories of people who can be liable under the measure. Judd refiled the harassment claim under the revised law, which took effect January 1st. Gutierrez ruled Wednesday that the changes were so significant that they fundamentally modified the California law, making it in effect a new law. Because the legislator didn't specify that the modified law should be applied retroactively, Judge can't use it to pursue her sexual harassment claim. So it's amazing how they switched the law to work in Harvey Weinstein's favor, but when it came to Bill Cosby, they switched the law around to work against his favor. Y'all can't tell me that white privilege, financial privilege, and white privilege working hand in hand, and racism don't factor in when it comes to these two cases. No one can sit here and tell me that. And the irony of it is, this is another white woman going against a white man. It's not like it's a black woman going against a white man, or vice versa. But he stressed that he wasn't casting doubt on Judge's underlying claim of sexual harassment. That's exactly what it was. They switched the shit around because they probably knew she had a solid case. Her attorneys had a solid case against him that could actually make him be found guilty. The court makes clear that it is not determining whether plaintiff was sexually harassed in the colloquial sense of the term. The only question presented by the current motion is whether the harassment that plaintiff allegedly suffered falls within the scope of the California statute that she has sued under. Judd filed the suit in April 2017, according to court documents. Judd claimed that Weinstein, then considered one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood, invited Judd to a hotel room in Beverly Hills in late 1996 or early 1997 to discuss potential film roles. But when she showed up at the hotel room, Weinstein appeared in a bathrobe and, instead of discussing film roles, asked if he could give her a massage. She refused, as she did other alleged approaches by Weinstein, including a request that she watch him take a shower. The documents quote Judd as having alleged. In 2017, Peter Jackson, the director of the Lord of the Rings franchise, told a newspaper in his native New Zealand that he had seriously considered casting Judd and the actor Mira Sorvino in the movies, but that Miramax, Weinstein's company at the time, told him that they were a nightmare to work with and we should avoid them at all costs. Now, I have heard about that stuff about Mira Sorvino. Now, she was another popular actress during the 90s. She also won an Oscar, and we never really saw any more of her past maybe the mid 2000s, which was right around the time her career started to fall off. Now it's like it pretty much all makes sense. That's how powerful Harvey Weinstein is. If you don't sleep with him, he'll find a way to stall your career. I mean, when's the last time you seen Ashley Judd or Mira Sorvino in a movie? Or a big film, like when they were in their prime? At the time, we had no reason to question what these guys were telling us. But in hindsight, I realized that this was very likely the Miramax smear campaign in full swing. And this is why she's actually going after him with this defamation suit. Pretty much the blackballing of her career. Harvey Weinstein, more recent studio of the Weinstein Company, fired him in October 2017 as dozens of other Hollywood figures alleged inappropriate behavior. In May, Weinstein was arrested in New York on charges of rape, criminal sexual acts, sexual abuse, and sexual misconduct. He is due in court March 7th for a pre-trial hearing. Mr. Weinstein maintains that all of these allegations are false and he expects to be fully vindicated. I want y'all to keep that date in mind. It says that he is due in court on March 7th. For a pre-trial hearing. One of two things is going to happen. One, that pre-trial isn't going to happen. Two, a distraction is going to pop up, meaning they're probably going to throw us another black person, another black male in particular, to throw this off. Because, like I said, many of you did not know this was going on because of the whole R. Kelly thing. We were being distracted. So keep March 7th in mind. March 7th is a Thursday. I don't give a damn if you have to mark your calendar. Just keep that date in mind, because something might happen around that time to throw us off to not know what's going to happen, and they're probably going to come up with something. Oh, we're dropping all the charges for this too. Now, on to a conversation I was having with one of my subscribers, and I hope they don't mind me shouting them out. Shout out to Zaxia Queen. I'm hoping I pronounced your first name correctly. We were having a discussion in the comment section of a video I just did involving John Legend and Harvey Weinstein, and we were talking about, the Ashley Judd situation. I said I had just found out about it. And then that's when I came back and said Kevin Spacey, ironically, is in court right now too. And I did a video about him. All of this stuff is happening, but you keep hearing about R. Kelly because that's who they keep pumping out to us, because they want to keep Kevin Spacey as under wraps as possible. They damn sure want to keep Harvey Weinstein as under wraps as possible, as under wraps underneath Kevin Spacey, no pun intended. And she was asking how many people knew this. I said about Kevin Spacey or the case being dismissed with Ashley Judd and Harvey Weinstein. She said, I'm thinking both, because everybody's still focusing on R. Kelly. It was people saying they didn't even know Kevin Spacey went to court, and nobody really knew about Harvey Weinstein and how his charges keep getting dropped. And this goes back to a point I said on Twitter. I said, on a majority scale, black people still fall for the okie doke, and they still believe in lamestream media. They can put all of this stuff out here for them to see, and they still can't see beyond what's in front of them. I'm like, y'all have to look all around. That's just like driving. When you're driving, you can't have tunnel vision. I'll be damned if I ride in a car with somebody who has tunnel vision, because that means you're only looking straight ahead. That's why you have a rear view mirror. You have your side mirrors. You got to look everywhere. Constantly, your eyes have to always be moving. You just can't look in one space, otherwise you're bound to crash. And that's what unfortunately a lot of black people have. They are falling for everything that lamestream media puts out there and not really seeing everything for what it is, which this is a witch hunt. And I keep saying it again. R. Kelly, people like R. Kelly, is a proxy. Oh, they're going to go after some more people. And these people, unlike Michael Jackson, they're going to be alive. If they can get people like the ones they've gotten already, they can get someone like myself, someone who's unknown on some shit. But it's very real out here, and black people as a whole, y'all better wake the hell up. Because we have been talking about this stuff for the last year and some change ever since this Me Too thing popped off. Granted, we all thought they were just going after white guys and everything like that. That was the premise. That was the introduction. But once they started going after black guys and black males, then that's when the conversation started to shift and started to change. See, they wanted to kick it off with the white guys, then bring the black men in and have them be the buffer while they were getting the cover. Like she said, no one knows about Kevin Spacey being in court except for myself and now that I put it out there. Nobody knows about Harvey Weinstein and his cases constantly being dropped unless it's coming from myself or like Tariq Nasheed or Harvey or Kimberly Frazier, Lisa Cabrera, the ones that y'all are used to hearing. Those who are not signed to CNN or HLN or MSNBC or any of these local affiliates. It's a good thing we're not tied down to those kinds of corporations, because we probably wouldn't be able to make these type of videos without facing backlash from our handlers. That's why I think that it's best that I keep it on the circuit that I'm on right now, because I can express myself a little bit more freely. But like I said, Harvey Weinstein is having his cases dropped one by one by one. Bill Cosby never stood a chance. And they like to say, oh, Bill Cosby was this powerful man. Not more powerful than Harvey Weinstein. Last time I checked, I don't remember the last time Bill Cosby used his so-called power to blackball anyone he's worked with. Harvey Weinstein has. Ashley Judd is one of them. Mira Sorvino is another. Because they would not give in to his sexual advances. And then they can put out there saying that they were hard to work with, like he said, and that's why people don't want to work with them, and they just took his word for it. Just straight up lied. Now, if you want to talk about a person who has done who's black, who has done something like what Harvey Weinstein did, but not in a way where he's giving sexual advances, but how he blackballed somebody's career, look at Lee Daniels. Look at what he did to Monique. He did the same thing, using the same script. Oh, she's hard to work with. She's difficult to work with. And then the court of public opinion came after her for so long, and she ended up getting blackballed. She had to literally rebuild what was left of her career. And then when Dame Dash confronted Lee Daniels, then that's when people found out what Lee Daniels was all about. But I'm like, Lee Daniels exposed who he was before Dame Dash confronted him. Hell, he exposed himself before what he did with Monique. But y'all didn't want to see that. Because it's easy to throw a smokescreen out there. But yeah, Lee Daniels is definitely one of the most toxic people in Hollywood, without a doubt. For real. But he is one in a long list of many. You can tell by some of the films, damn near all the films that he's ever made. Monsters Ball, Shadow Boxer, Precious, The Butler. Do you see where I'm headed with this? But yeah, that's really all I have to say as it pertains to this. All I have to say is black people, just be aware of your surroundings and what's really going on. Because there's definitely an agenda being pushed. And a proxy, like I said, this is a proxy war we're in right now. And to black men in particular, this one's for us. It really is.